cleaning. Let's put a bit of spray in there, a bit of clean in there. And because this brake cleaner is flammable, we need to let it evaporate before we can heat up the casing. Because what we want to do is, again, heat the casing up so that the bearing just falls in. We don't want to be hammering anything we don't need to. So if I turn that a bit more so you can see it a bit more. Maybe a bit more like that. And in there the bearing goes. So again, we've got brand new bearing. Not even opened. Use that to break the seal. There we go. This is 6305 Toyo again, with a K. I always call them Toyos, I don't know why. And I'm just opening the bag that came in. What I always do is put the name part towards you in the middle, so that when we put this on, it'll have the name part towards the crank. So that's our bearing, brand spanking new. And I should have the retaining plate here somewhere, already cleaned up, ready to go. So bear with me for a second while I find it. Of course, you break away and you find it straight away. So that's our new, well, not our new one, that's our original one. What we need to do is get the oil seal from the crankshaft. If you remember, I left the oil seals on the crankshaft, but I'm just going to give that a bit of a clean up prior to fitting that. And what we've got as well is a halite washer, which is in the gasket set, which basically seals this part here, which is what I didn't think we had, but we did have when we went to take the engine apart. You know, you start sort of doubting yourself what these experts get up to. And right, so I'm quite happy with that. I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is just put the oil seal in, and again, you're sealing the crankshaft. So if I grab hold of the crankshaft, it's this oil seal here on the drive side, and if you can see, the spring is facing the crankshaft. Yeah, so that would be that way, and pull it off. So that part faces the crankshaft, not that way. So I'll put that back on its stand, and I'm going to give that oil seal a wipe. Hopefully this oil seal should just press in by hands. They never do, but so this is the way it screws in, like that. So if you remember, they've got to go in that way. So there's a little lip like so, and that's the way you're sealing it, like that. So what you're doing is you're sealing the petrol coming through. And it is going in by hand. What I should have done basically was put a bit of penetrating oil there, just to lubricate it, pushing it in. That's what I've done now. And what we're trying to do is just push it with our fingers home. Like so. If you remember on previous videos, if we get the rear hub washer and push that, so put the rear hub washer on there, it's the same size basically. So you don't, I'm not hammering anything, I'm just pushing it in like that with my fingers. And we want it to be flush, which it's slightly not at the moment, it's just slightly up. What I probably could have done was warm this as well. These Viton seals, they're so hard, they really are. No fingers left in a minute, but that is life. Right, so the bearing's in. I've just put the plate on to see that it went down properly, which it does. And I don't know if I did show you this, but this is level. The oil seal's nice and level. So what we got now is our halite washer, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bit of sealer on that to make sure it seals against this part here. Which it is there. I've never had an Innocenti one leak, but I've had Indian ones leak on me, which is a bit of a pain. Right, so we put a squirt around here as well. So I've not gone too mad, I've just put a bit on. Then what we need to do is just drop it in place with our screw holes in line, which they are now. And I'll get the screws out, which is again new, which should be on here somewhere. Knocking over everything. They are in a packet. That's them there. No, that's washers. Not there. I can see them. Alright, so we've got some new high tensile screws, 4 of them. And what we need to do is just start them off with the screwdriver. What I'm going to also do is just put a bit of Loctite on them. Not a lot, just a tad even. I'll just put a tad on. That's it. And I'm not tightening these down at all yet, they're just screwed in. Playing games with me. Far too much on that one, but what we can do is put some on the others, like so. And again, if you noticed, I'm crisscrossing these screws, so again just tighten that one down so the head's just proud, It's not even pinched up. Yep. Get our number 3. Of course I would drop it, wouldn't I? That's because I've got gloves on again. Just give it a wipe. And some more Loctite, and again just screw this so the head's just proud. And that one that was covered can go in there, and why is there always one that refuses to go in? Right, this one do it hand tight, and then this one hand tight. The first one we put in hand tight, and number 4 hand tight. And then what we're going to do is wipe my hands, tidy this up again, and I'm going to use an impact driver which I've got ready for a change. Should be down here. Impact driver with an extension bit on it, and start anywhere but just go crisscross and tighten them hand tight. That's it. And again hand tight, and again. So we've got our 4 screws basically hand tight. Then all you do is turn it, keep it under pressure, give it a whack. Same with this one. And that one. And this one. That's it. Do that a couple of times. Right. Bit more than that. That should be great. Give that a wipe inside there. What some people do is get a centre punch and just punch the holes so that it stops the screw from moving, but we've got some thread lock in there basically, so we don't need to do that. So what I'm going to do now is stand up the engine. Can cool down, bearings moving nice and freely. There we go. And when we come to put this crankshaft in, we'll grease in here and grease. And what I'll probably do is just, I've got an electric heat gun, so what I'm going to do is just warm up them bearings slightly. So that's about as far as I'm going today. So we've got our dry side bearing in, our oil seals in, our halite washers in, our that needs actually a spray in there. Picked up some dust. Right. And that's in there. Lovely. Perfect. I'm quite liking that. So we have got our crank which can go in tomorrow. What I'm actually going to do before we put the crank in is on the mag flange is just go through the threads. So put my bits and bobs back. That one right in there. Tidy up for tonight. 2. And what have I done with the mag flange? I had it out showing you earlier, didn't I? There it is. So what I'm going to do off camera is just go through all these threads, make sure they're good. They all appear to be good, so like I say, you're always better off using an Achenti than like that, pattern bits. I can't believe that. I can't even remember where I got that socket gasket set from, but it's a pile of rubbish basically. So I'm going to call that a day here. That's another video out of the way and another big hurdle to this engine being rebuilt. I've already done these threads here for the studs to go in, so we'll put the studs in tomorrow and put the crankshaft in. We'll build up this mag flange, we'll build that up, and we'll see how nice and tight everything goes in, because we can get our stator plate and flywheel on and time it tomorrow. So what I'll probably do is do one video putting the top end on, leaving the head off, because I need to find out where. I mean, this one got loads of marks on it, you know. I'm not even sure where top dead center is. There's too many marks on it. So there's at least 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 marks on there. I don't know, you know. Yeah. I don't know what goes through people's heads, but as I say, that's for another day. Take care everybody. Catch me on the next one.